Yeah, let me share the screen. Jahnavi, can you please once again remind them to join the class? Can you please leave a message in the group once again? Already texted. Okay. Okay, okay, Jahnavi. In the last class, what we have discussed? In the last class, what we have discussed? Exception handling. We just started, yes or no? And we have completed utility classes, the remaining part, and started exception handling. So, what are all the types of exceptions we have seen? Types of exceptions we have seen yesterday. Types of exceptions. I'm asking the main. Exactly. Runtime out of range, runtime exceptions and compile time exception. I am asking that. Okay, runtime exceptions and compile time exceptions. And please be aware that what questions I am asking, you have to respond. As many as students you know the answer, you have to text. Okay, then I can understand who else, whoever is understanding the concept. Then I'll be having some idea. Okay, so fine now. Okay, right. Runtime exceptions. Runtime exceptions. Is it a class? Is it a class? Yes. Okay. I'll ask you in another way. That is, arithmetic exception is extended from. Arithmetic exception is extended from runtime exception, and runtime exceptions are extended from exception, the main class. All for all the exceptions, exception is the main class, and exception is from throwable. Very good. Exception is from throwable. Throwable is the supermost class of exception and also the error. Okay, and we have the errors type out of memory. We have the errors like stack overflow error and out of memory error. So these type of virtual system error, many errors also we have. If possible, we will see in the next classes. Okay, at the last after completion of exception. Okay, and regarding exceptions, how to handle an exception? How to handle an exception? Suppose there is an exception in your program, how to handle? Through try catch blocks. Very good, Shravya. Through try catch blocks. And try always must be followed with, try must be followed always with catch, or else finally. Okay, or else finally. Try must be with the catch, or else at least with finally. Okay, yes. And what exactly in try is going to happen? Suppose if I found any statement in which I am getting an exception. Okay. Then what is going to happen? What compiler is going to do? Bound to give an exception. What's that? Suppose there is a statement which is caused for exception. At that statement, what your compiler will do? Throw exception. Okay. Actually, it understand the what type of exception it is, and creates an object of that type of exception, and a statement that bound to give an exception is put in try block. Okay, So as it is creates an object of type at a proper type exception, and it throws to the its catch. If then if a proper catch finds only, not finally, it throws to the catch only. If it doesn't find any proper catch, it just executes finally, but it will not throw to finally. Okay, understood now? Still exception is unhandled, it is pending. Yeah, okay, understood now? Difference, did you understand the difference? Yes, it just thrown that exception object to its proper catch, or else to its caller. I did not tell you what its caller exactly yesterday, but I'll tell you in as the programs, as the explanation goes on. Okay. Ah, and what else we have discussed? Can I keep any statements in between try and catch? No, not even a single statement I cannot keep in try and catch. Try and catch. Okay. And what is the use of finally? What is the use of finally? I'm waiting. No, no hurry. You can type your answer. It's definitely executed. Can put statements that very good. That's right. That is, we can keep the statements which have to be executed, whether the exactly whether the exception is handled or not, irrespective of the exception handled or not. That finally has to be executed. And what is get message? Exception object dot get message. Exactly where it is defined? Actually, it is the method of which class? Type of exception. It's the message associated with the type of exception. Okay, that message, get message method is actually defined in which class? Okay, I understand. Throwable class. Very good. Actually, it is the method of throwable class. As all the exceptions are under throwable class, that is, all the exceptions are subclasses of throwable class, we can able to override that. We can able to override, we can able to call that through any object of the derived class. Understood now? All the exceptions in the Java are they are classes. All the exceptions are classes. Any exception, whether it is arithmetic exception or null pointer exception, array or index out of bound exception, file not found exception, class not found exception, etc., etc., all these are classes. Okay. Fine. And what else? What else we have discussed? And what is the another name of the runtime exceptions? Another name of a runtime exceptions? Unexpected, unchecked, unchecked exceptions. Very good. Unchecked exceptions. Why? Yeah, it's okay. And what is the another name of compile time exceptions? Checked exceptions. Why they are checked exceptions? Why did we call them as checked exceptions? Because we can check them at what time? While compile time. Because even at the compile time itself, we are during compile time. Very good. Very good. That's it. Good. I know a couple of the students are well, they are listening very well. Not couple of the students, of course, there are almost 10 to 15. But the remaining, I don't know whether they understood or not. I am not sure. But still, hope you are understanding, no? Classes, the concepts. Yes? Yeah, fine. So let us start our regular thing. Let us continue. Okay. So can you please read the comment first, and then you just observe the program. Program to demonstrate array index out of bounds exception. Okay, fine. Then we have an array here. We have an array here. Okay, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And I'm just printing what I am printing there. 10, and here in the next statement 20. Very good. And I just have a statement in the try block, that is system.out.println of a of 5. That is, I am accessing a of 5 means array of 5 means it is sixth index. Yes or no? That is what fifth. That is the sixth element I am trying to access. So what it is? It is out of bound. The index is out of bound. Okay. So what I am doing is I am catching that through array index out of bounds exception. We have array index out of bounds exception, and the object is a. Some name you can give. You can give even your name also. Okay, that is what your object. Okay, and I'm printing that it is an invalid index. Even we can give user friendly message, no, that can be understood by the user. Yes, so I'm just telling to the user of hello Mr. User, you are using just an invalid index. Okay, and after that I'm printing array of 2, 3, 4. So what is your order? Are these statements are going to be executed or not? Yes. Yes or no? They will be executed because the exception is handled. The exception is handled here. Yes or no? So that, exactly. Properly it was handled. So that it is, these statements are going to be executed. Let me execute this first. Yeah, that's what, as you expected, along with the 1020 invalid index is printed, and then the remaining statements were executed as usual. Okay, so we will go with the next question, next program without, okay. See this. Here we are dealing with what type of exception? Just read the comment line, please. Read the comment line. Null pointer exception. What do you mean by null pointer exception? What do you mean by null pointer exception? Actually, through a null reference, I am calling the method. Through null reference, I am calling the method. Here, look at the first statement. Scanner S is equal to null. Actually, S I am assigning to null. I did not create any scanner object here. Yes or no? Okay. And in the try statement, what I am doing, on that null reference, I am calling the method next int. Okay, so that as I'm calling on null reference, I'll be getting a null pointer exception. So a null pointer exception is thrown to the catch. Of course, luckily I got a proper catch here, which is matching with that object. So the exception is going to be caught here. So if I am going to print NE, what is going to be printed? Can you please tell me? I just shown you three types actually. suppose that object dot message get message will give you some type of output, and if I print the object itself, you'll be going to print something, and print stack it is going to print in some other way. Yes or no? So what is going to happen if I print this? You just have a look. What happened? The name of the name of the type of exception. That is java.lang null pointer exception. That's what the information you are getting through the object of null pointer exception. And end of the program is executed. Did you observe that? Because the exception is handled properly. The exception is handled properly. So end of the program was executed. Okay, understood now, everyone? Yes or no? Right. Now, what is this? Actually, it is not. It is not finally blocked. Let me open 7 also. Just I'll just modify. Read the comment line first. Read the comment line. A by 0. Let me just wait. Just wait. I am going to see that. If it is 8 by 10, then 10 by 10. What is going to happen? 10 by 10. What you will be getting? 1, no? Okay. Right. So if it is 1, there is no issue, right? Of course, yeah. We will just modify that. Okay, let me execute this first and I'll change something later. Okay, let me execute this first and you please tell me if I execute this. This is actually I'll tell you later. So if I execute this, what would be your output? If I execute as it is, only and finally also, no? Is this is not going to be executed? This one. No. Is that not going to be executed? Why it is not going to be executed? Is there any exception? Did I get any exception in this statement? I did not get any exception, no? Of course, A is 10, 10 by 10. I am getting C equal to 1. So this statement is going to be executed. But if you look at that, there is a statement written. So you need to find out what are all the statements are skipped. Okay, as I mentioned written here, just have a look. What are all the changes you can observe from this? Okay. Look at this. I'll make it. Now you can able to see that, no? See. Mm, just wait. Ah, see that? See, observe very clearly. Observe very clearly. The result got printed. The result got printed, and as I said, return. As I said, return. The the control return. The control is not continuing further. Okay, but in this case also, what happened? The finally is executed. Did you observe that? Even I specify return also, the finally is going to be executed. Actually, along with the finally, this end is also be executed. If as I did not get any exception, as I did not get any exception, as the exception, there is no pending exception, even it has to be executed. Yes or no? Do you agree with me? Yes? Understood? Only one. It just printed only one. And then for sure finally, and then it just returned. And just the control returned. Okay, from the program. Understood now? Understood everybody? Yes? I'll comment this a little. I'll do. Hmm. What I have done right now? What happened now? What happened now? Even the end is also be printed. Even the end is also be executed. Yes or no? If I don't have any return. Yes? Even from here itself, I'll do something more. Some more changes I want to do right now. So what is this? What is this actually? 10 by 0. Yes or no? Now can you please tell me what are all the statements that you are supposed to be executed? Do I have is that exception is caught anywhere? Is that exception is will be caught anywhere? From catch, finally, and will this catch is going to be executed? Will this catch is going to be executed? Is that proper catch? Is that proper catch? Why? What is the reason? No. No also, what is the reason? If you say no also, you have to tell reason, and if you tell yes also, you have to tell the reason. Arithmetic exception. It's not specified. Very good. Exception is the super class of runtime exception. As I am getting the that's what. So as I am getting the what type of exception I am getting here actually? Can you please list out? Can you please type quickly? Arithmetic exception. As arithmetic exception is not the subclass of exception. Yes or no? It is. So, as it is the superclass reference, the superclass reference can able to always point to the derived class object. Can you remember that? Yes or no? Reverse I cannot do, but the subclass object can always be referred by your superclass object. Yes or no? So this is the superclass object, but it can able to refer to your subclass type exception. Okay. Let me execute this. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. What happened? From catch block. from catch block, from finally, and also executed. Did you observe that? And also got executed because the exception got handled. Yes or no? Did you agree with that? This is what catch all, catch block. This exception, the superclass type, if I mention, then whatever be the exception you are getting in the try block, that will be caught with the exception. Superclass type exception. Understood now? Everyone? Understood? Yes? Right? Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Listen carefully and hmm. This is what exactly. Can you please read the comment first? Can you please read the comment first? To demonstrate, demonstration. To demonstrate multiple catches prior to Java 7. That is, after Java version 7, you can able to catch, you can able to provide multiple catches. Even one single catch is, you can even provide more than one catch. That is what multiple catch blocks. Okay. So how I have to execute is, just look at that, look at this. There is an array of 10 to 50, and I'm just taking two values from the user. They are A and B. Okay. A and B. Then if I take A by B, suppose if I take 6 and 2, 6 and 2, will I get any exception? 6 and 2, will I get any exception here? Guys, are you with me? No, right? Because 6 by 2, there is no problem. Then if I say, then if you come to this statement along with that, then what is A value actually? What A value I have taken? 6. So it is array of 6. What happens? It is out of bounds exception. It is out of bounds exception. So which catch is going to be executed? Is this or this one? Second one is going to be executed. Then otherwise, if I am going to give you the state, the input, like suppose 4 comma 0, 4 comma 0, A is a 4 and B is 0, then what type of exception I'll be getting? First one, that is arithmetic exception I'll be getting. Of course, there may not be any problem with this. Yes or no? But here itself I am getting the arithmetic exception. So this exception is going to be executed. Understood? Understood or not? Yes? Let me execute first. Let me execute this. Control S. What is this? 7, no? Okay. Enter two values. What values I want to give is 6 and 2 first. Okay. What exception we got? Actually, we just printed IE, that is index out of bounds exception, so that it just specified what type of an exception it is, and also the index. ఏ ఇండెక్స్ ఇచ్చి మీరు అవుట్ ఆఫ్ బౌండ్ ఎక్సెప్షన్ అయిందో కూడా it is going to give you. Yes or no? 6 by 0 we will get both means, let me give that also. Okay, let me give that also. See, I'll explain. What you want to give? What you 6 and 0, no? Then tell me. What exception you got? Did you get both? You will never get the two exceptions in one single program, because see what happens is, here itself the program is stops executing all these statements. Here itself the control comes out of the try block and searching for the proper catch. Yes or no? So there is no chance of executing this statement, no? Yes or no? Did you understand? Everybody. Yes? Of course there is a chance, but we will let. If arithmetic is second, then we will get out of bounds. Yes. Yes. If arithmetic is second, then we will get out of bounds. Then and there itself, the A, this is going to be executed, no? So whatever be the first statement, in that statement, if I get any exception, then and there itself, the control, it stops executing the remaining statements in the try block and comes out of the try and search for the proper catch. Understood, everybody? Did everybody understood these two cases? Yes or no? Right? Yes. Okay. What about remaining students? I'm asking to everyone. Remaining students, please do respond. Did everyone understood? At once time only I'll be getting one exception. Okay. Okay. Right. But other exception won't be handled. Yes. It will. Once you rectify this, once you rectify this one exception, then you will be getting a chance of getting that exception. Okay. It will not give you at a time multiple exceptions all at a time. You understood there is a problem with the array arithmetic exception. You just go to your program, you'll solve that, and then you'll come back and you'll execute. Then again, you'll find out that there is an exception of array index out of bound. Then you'll go, it can able to catch. Understood? If you cannot solve this, how can you solve, if you cannot solve the problem number statement number 1, how can you solve statement number 2? Yes or no? Understood? There are two problems. You have to solve first and then only you can go to the second. Right? Okay, no? Guys, everybody understood or not? Yeah, okay. And one more thing I want to do, let me just open this 7. I'll copy this. Control C. Actually, from oh, I'll do a little more change actually here in 6. Okay. Now, look at this. Look at this. Actually, now, can you please tell me what is going to be executed? Uh, okay. Arithmetic exception, finally, and end. Sure, everyone? Now you please tell me, I got an arithmetic exception right now here. Okay. So I got two catches, exception and the arithmetic exception. Exception AE catch will be executed then finally. Why Shravya? What's the reason actually? From catch block, finally, end. Okay, good. You're guessing good, but there is one issue you will be getting. Actually, what is that issue is, let me execute this and I'll show you what actually the problem is. See, this error actually I want to show you. What is the error is, the exception, arithmetic exception, the exception that is arithmetic exception has already been caught. Has already been caught. That is what actually what is happening is, this subtype of exception, subclass exception I am placing after the supertype exception. That is the generalized exception I am placing even before the specific type of the exception. So what is going to happen? The specific exception, the arithmetic exception is already caught here. So this catch block will never be executed. Understood? This catch block, the second specific catch block, is never be executed. Understood? So that in that way you cannot keep your catches. You have to specify. You have to specifically, the specific type has to be mentioned first. Then only you can keep your generalized catch. This is what your generalized catch, no, which will catch any type of the exception. Understood? Understood or not? Yes. So I'll do one thing that now what is going to happen? Now what is going to happen? Now tell me what is going to happen. Which one is going to be executed now? Will I be get any problem issue now? No, right? That is arithmetic exception and then finally and then add. Let me execute this also. Understood? This is arithmetic exception and the from finally block and also the end. Understood what rule you have learned right now? What rule you have learned right now? What rule you have learned? Yes. Ah, super class. If super class is there in cache before base class. Huh? What is that? If super class is there in cache before base class, we will get already handled. That is, in what way you have to tell is, the generalized catch has to be placed after the specific catch. Okay, right? Please look at this program first. Okay, right? See, have a look at this program and please let me know what you are expecting. What you understood. Just I'll give you a half minute or minute. You just understand. You just read the comment and then analyze the program. Yeah. Observe? Did you observe? Okay. Yes. So what happens actually in this program? This is multi-catch. Previously, we have seen multiple catch. Okay. That is more than one catch will be followed. Two types of error handling in one catch. Very good. Very good. That is what multi-catch. Okay. That is, suppose if there is a scanner, I am using a scanner class. With this scanner class, what I am doing is, listen carefully. Suppose if my input from the user is, if I'm using next line here, I'm using next line here. Okay. So if my if I give the, if I take the input from the user as zero, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? If I take n value as 0, then arithmetic exception. Then I'll show you through okay, I'll show you through execution. Okay. What is this program? Demo 8. What you are getting? What you are getting? Actually, I'm using the what method I just used? Next line method. Is it the method used for taking integers or strings? String. Suppose even if I give string 0 as in the string format, but what it is doing, the integer dot parsing will convert that string 0 to integer 0, then it assigns to n. Okay. Now, if I give input as, suppose, right, uh, input, what is this? I'm sorry. Just wait, guys. Just I need to connect my charger. Just a second. Yeah. Okay. Again, I am executing demo 8. Instead of that, I just used. Suppose 8. Then, suppose it is asking me one more input. Instead of 0, I'm taking, suppose, high. Okay. Okay. Then, what you are getting? What you are getting? What exception you are getting? Number format. That is, we are trying to convert a string to integer, so we'll get the number format exception. Actually, previously what happened? I just given a 0. Of course, 0 is an integer, but it is available in string. So there is no issue to convert that string 0 to an integer. Actually, 0 is the family related to integer family. Yes or no? So even by using integer dot passing can able to convert your string 0 to n. Okay. So as it is 0, it is just giving you what? Arithmetic exception. Okay. But if I give instead of 0, what I am trying to give a original string format string, that is which is in characters, but it cannot convert that ParseInt method will not convert that to a integer. So what happens? What happens? So it is giving you number format exception. So these two types of exceptions are can be handled through one single catch. Yes or no? In what cases it is? In what cases we can get number format exception? Did you understand? Suppose I am expecting a number integer, but I am giving you a string. So in that cases, I am getting a number format exception. That you need to understand from this program, number one. One more thing, this is the multi catch. With one single catch, you can able to deal with the two catches, two exceptions, and only subclass. How you can keep two exceptions here if the both exceptions are of subclasses of runtime exception only. If I want to give one is runtime exception and one more is compile time exception, it won't be allowed. Understood? It won't be allowed. Understood? No. Yes? So please do remember these points, and please do practice every day. Okay? Hope you understand this. And next one is catch all catch block we already discussed, so this is not required. Nested try blocks. Nested try blocks means look at this. A try. What is nested try? What is nested if? What is nested if? Try within a try. Just nested try is a try within a try. Now what we are doing is, suppose there are integers a, b, c, d. I just use the scanner class object and I am asking the user to enter the number. Suppose if he enters a number, suppose if it is 0, then what is going to happen? 10 by a, that is 10 by 0, you will be suspended. The execution is suspended then and there itself in the statement, and it comes out of the block, that is this block, completely this block, and this is just followed by arithmetic exception. Yes or no? Understood? Yes? Now instead of 0, if I give any 1, if the user input is 1, then what happens? 10 by 1, there is no issue. Of course, 10 is going to be printed, no problem. Then I comes to enter into the another try, that is nested try. That is, if a is equal to 1, yes, a is equal to 1, then what is going to happen? C is equal to 10 by a minus 1. What does it mean? 10 by, again, divide by 0. Yes or no? Then what is going to happen? It suspends its control execution then here itself, and it comes out of the try block and it searches for the proper catch. Did I get any proper catch over here? No. So what happens? It passes over its exception objects to its outer catch. It just passed over its object, exception object, whichever is created here. It will be thrown. It will be passed through its outer catch. So as outer catch is already having a associated catch, that is a proper catch here, this will be executed. Understood or not? Yes? Yes or no? Yes. Then if it is if my user input is suppose 4, then okay, or 5 or 4 something, let me take 5, 10 by 5, no issue. Again I'll come here. If it is not a equal to 1, this will not be executed. Yes or no? then which part it is going to come? Else part, no? In else, actually I have taken a array 1, 2, 3, which is only indexes from 0 to 2, 0, 1, 2. If m of 5 is equal to 4, I am trying to access an index which is out of bound index. So what is going to happen? What is going to happen? You will be here, the execution is suspended and it is aborted and it comes out of the try, the inner try, and luckily you got a proper cache, that is array index out of bounds. Then you will be, this is going to be executed. Understood? Yes? Yes or no? Right. So in 3 ways we need to execute this program. First you need to give 0, then you have to give 1, and then you can give other than 0 and 1. Okay. Let us execute this once. So let me do this. What is this? 10, no? Let me give first 0. Okay. Zero. What it is going to print? Divide by 0 error. That is what? This is what this is got printed, no? Divide by 0 error. Okay. Already we discussed. Hope you understand why we are getting that output. Yes or no? Yes. Next time. I just want to give you 1. Okay. Again 1 also. Divide by 0. Actually, if I give 1, actually, where exactly you got the exception? Is it in the outer try or inner try? Inner try. But still, the exception was. Okay. Then, if I give what next? Suppose 5. Then what? Yeah, exactly. So, you got index invalid, index you got. That is the innermost catch was executed. Understood? No? Understood? Yes or no? So with this we got executed, we have completed 10, and the next one is suppose, hmm, okay, look at this. Unhandled exception in method calls. You need to concentrate a little bit more actually. Unhandled exception in method calls. Okay, will come from main. Okay, I just created a scanner object. I am asking the user to enter a number. Suppose if I give a number, if I give a number 0, here itself I am getting an exception. Of course, here I am having arithmetic exception, so that this is going to be executed. Then if suppose if the user input is 1, then what is going to happen? Did I get any exception over here? No, right? Yes. It is no. We will not be getting any error. This is going to be printed fine, and then I'll just pass this 1 to method 1. Okay, that is method 1 of 1. Yes or no? That's what, no? Then method 1 is going to be called. This method 1 is going to be called by passing 1 as a parameter. Okay. Now, what we are doing is, if a is equal to 1, the same thing, the same thing we are explaining even in the previous nested try. So if it is 1, what you will be getting? You are getting an exception. Yes or no? You are getting an exception. Yes. Divide by 0, that is arithmetic exception you are getting. So as it is suspended this statement and it comes out of the try and it checks whether there is any proper catch or not? Of course, unfortunately, I did not have any proper catch here, but this method one returns a pending exception. మెథడ్ వన్ లో ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఏమొచ్చింది? డిడ్ ఐ గెట్ ఎనీ రిజల్ట్ ఆర్ ఎక్సెప్షన్? ఐ గాట్ exception. So this method one returns an exception to its caller right now. Yes or no? Yes or no? Actually, who called me? Who called? Method one is called in what? Main. Yes or no? So it returns here. The exception is returned here. So in the try block, did I have any exception right now? Yes, which is returned from this method one. Yes or no? The exception which is returned from this method one. Now I am having an exception here. So as I am getting an exception in this try, now what happened? This exception is thrown to its proper catch. So this catch is going to be executed. Understood? Understood, everyone? So if I get any exception in the any method, then it returns. If it is not handled, method lo kanaka nen handle cheyakapothe, then that method returns its exception to its caller. Suppose if its caller also is not execute and not handling its exception, then it thrown out to its Java runtime system, Java runtime environment. So as usual you are getting whenever you are unhandled exception, what is happening? That message complete thing is not you are getting, no, that will be execute, that will be happen. Okay, one thing you have to learn here is, if the method is not handling its exception, it returns, that exception is to be returned to its caller. Understood or not? Okay, that point you need to understand in this demo level. Okay, right? Directly I am giving 1. Okay, instead of giving 0, directly I am giving 1. Okay, actually what happened? This divided by 0 is got this 10 is from from B. Okay, and then this exception is from, actually it is from method, the exception which is returned from the method, and the proper catch is got executed. Understood, right? Yes. Okay. So from this we will discuss in the next class, right? Okay, is that fine? From demo 12 we will discuss in the next class, because you have to do 2 programs right now. You have to do here itself in the class. I'll explain what they are. Okay, is that okay? Okay, no? Okay, within 10:50 you have to complete those tasks. So that is the reason I am stopping right now, because not many people are attempting the task. Okay, so please do this. I'll stop here. From demo 12 we'll discuss in the, let me open that first. Yeah. Okay, this is what the task you have to do. The first one, actually read the question first. I'll just give you a time for 1 minute. Just read the question, read the sample input and output. Okay, and I'll explain. After that, I'll explain. Okay, yeah, read that properly. Hmm. 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 Huh. Understood, guys? Did you understand? Did you study? Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait. You just study. Once you completed, once if you finish your reading, then you tell me. I'll explain. Done? Yeah. Okay. See, what did you understand? Did you understand that? 100% or 90% or 80% or what percent? Understood? 100% understood. Okay. Okay, fine. See, Pitsy needs help in the given task. If you understood, you did not listen. You need not listen. For the other students, I'm explaining. Okay. Pitsy needs help in the given task by her teacher. Okay. What help she require? The task is to divide an array into two subarrays. Okay, there is an array. You have to divide that array into two subarrays. Okay, left and right, and containing n by 2 elements. Containing n by 2 elements. That what does it mean? What does it mean? You need to divide your array into two halves. Okay, and each and do the sum of the subarrays. That means the first subarray you have to sum the elements, and then that is sum 1. Okay, and you need to sum the second half, that is on my the second half elements, that is sum 2. Sum 1, sum 2, you have to do that. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to multiply both these sums, sum 1 into sum 2. Okay, that's what you have to do. So here, if you observe, these are the inputs you have to take from the user. That is array length. Okay, size of there, that is 1 2 3 4. You have taken input from the user. Okay, and as I divided n by 2 until unless I get n by 2, I just add this 1 plus 2, that is 3. Else the sum is 3 3 plus 4, that is 7. And again after that, what I have to do? 3 into 7, that is 21 I am getting. Okay, see, sum up an array from index 0 to 1, that is 3, and sum up an array from index 2 to 3, that is 7. The multiplication is 21. Okay, understood now? Understood? Did you understand this one? Yes. Initially the sum is 6, first half 6, and then second half is 12. 12 into 6, 72. Understood now? So I don't want to show the code right now. Hope you understood what you have to do. Okay. So will you try? Of course, for the other student, that is, if you couldn't understand, if you stuck anywhere, I'll explain once again. Okay. So is that explanation is over? Is required? Is enough? No. Is this enough? Yes or no? Yes. Fine. But the second one is a bit tough than this. Okay. Now you just read once again. You just read once again. I'll tell you for it, sure, definitely, but you have to read for 1 or 2 minutes you can take, otherwise. Okay. Yeah, done. Okay. Okay. So what did you understand? Did you understand 100% even right now? Yes. Okay, good. See, what happens is here you need to take an array list. You need to take an array list of n lowercase characters. Okay. Now what you have to find out is you have to find out the frequency of the list, frequency of the elements in the list, frequency of the elements in the list. Okay. Frequency means how many times it is there in the list. Okay. Now what you have to do is you have to create an array list. No. You need to use the method add method to append the element to your list. Okay. And to check an element in the list whether it is present or not, contains method is used to check whether uh, whether the element is present or not. Okay. Again I'll make it okay. And frequency method, that is collections dot frequency method, you need to use to find the frequency of the element. That is, already we have seen collections dot sort. Did you remember that? Did you remember that? Collections dot sort already మనం చూసాం ఇంతకు ముందు. In the same way, collections class is already having many methods. Okay. One of the method is frequency, which is taking 2 parameters. One is the list, comma, the element. Collections dot frequency is taking two parameters. One is the list and the one is the the character. Second parameter is the character. That is which character, that is which element you want to search for the frequency. Okay, find out the frequency. That's what it is taking. So what you need to understand is I with C. That is, if I give I, look at this. You have to give the query like this. If I give I, then the immediate next will be you have to add to the list. If I give I, then the immediate next string has to be add to the next character has to be add to the list. If it, and the same way, if I give I, U has to be added. If I give I, D has to be added. If I give I, S has to be added. And if I give F, F means you have to find the frequency of S. Frequency of yes. Okay. So how many S's are added to the list so far? 2. Yes or no? Yes or no? Understood? So that this is how, if I am giving 6 means, 6 input output, that not input output, 6 in combinations of IT, IU, ID, IS, FS, these 6 types you have to take. Okay. And one more thing, guys, one single character you cannot read from by using scanner class. There is no method related to reading one single character from the user. Did you know that? Did you know that? Only we have methods next or next line. Suppose if you use next is used for only to read. Next method is only to read. No, not single character. Next line is a complete statement. Okay. String, a word, that is until unless you strike and enter. No enter iche varaku it is taking that as a string. Suppose if I give I and then if I hit the enter. If I give I, if I hit the enter, then I is a string. I is a string. Okay, understood? Understood or not? Yes or no? Right? So from that, what you have to, from this string, you have to take that character. Then what you will do? What you will use? Exactly. Very good. Excellent, Rohit. That is next dot caret of 0. Next dot caret of 0. That is next already is next is already taking I only. At that string, you are taking that character. That is 0th character. That is that character only. I only. Understood? Understood? So that if you do this next of caret of 0, then you will be getting I. One single character you are getting. So this character you can use whether it is I. If it is I, you can add it to the list. If it is F, you have to pass to the collection dot frequency method so that you will be getting frequency. Understood? So మీరు ఏం చేయాలి? ఫర్ లూప్ లో in for loop you have to iterate from all these inputs from 0 to n, from 0 to less than n, or else 1 to n. Okay, 1 to n. From for each iteration you have to take 2 strings, just like as Rohit said. One is query, one more is character. This is the query, this is the query, this is the character. If the query is I, you have to add the character. Understood now? Understood? Right? Okay. So what you have to do is, if it is already contains, you are adding like this. Of course, you are adding like this. Else, if it is, then, see this. If else if you have entered F, at last you have to enter F. not in the middle. Okay, at last you have to enter F. If you enter F, that is you comes to the else part. So if the character is already there, what method you have to check? What method you have to use? Whether it is there or not. Already they told no in the description. Contains method you have to use. Whether this method contains, whether this character contains, then you have to pass that character, whatever you are taking, to the frequency method. Frequency collections dot frequency method. Okay, you try that. You try that first. Okay, understood now? Will you try or shall I explain the code also? Your wish. Will you try? Shall I give you time? What do you say, guys? Of course, this is a bit tough. Try. Do one thing. First, you attempt this program. So, within the class time, you just try to finish this. If you could stuck anywhere, I'll tell you. Okay? Explain. Okay. Yeah, sure. See. Better. So here I'm just taking the input from the user. That is 6. Okay. Anything. Okay. I'm taking the input. And why I am using this is for the test cases purpose. In the tessellator, some of the test cases are not passing if I am not using this, because the enter is also taking as input. After this input, I'll hit enter. No, 6 అని ఇచ్చాక ఎంటర్ ఇస్తాను కదా, ఆ ఎంటర్ని కూడా ఇన్పుట్ లాగా తీసుకుంటుంది ఎక్కడ హియర్ క్వరీ దగ్గర. సో దట్ ఐఎమ్ టేకింగ్ దిస్. ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ రిక్వైర్డ్ యూ కెన్ టేక్, అదర్వైజ్ యూ జస్ట్ లీవ్. ఓకే, నౌ ఐఎమ్ క్రియేటింగ్ అన్ యారే లిస్ట్. ఓకే, యారే లిస్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నాను, చేయాలి కదా. ఓకే, అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆఫ్ టైప్ క్యారెక్టర్. ఓకే, నౌ వాట్ ఐఎమ్ డూయింగ్ ఇస్, input తీసుకున్నాను. I just took the input and also I created the array list, that is character list, C list. Now I have to iterate the input from 0 to less than n. Okay, now for each iteration, I already told you, for each iteration you need to read 2 strings, 2 characters. Yes or no? One is query, one more is character. One is query, one more is character. Okay, so sc dot next int dot next of caret of 0. Did you understand this 68? Did you understand this? If you listen to the previous explanation, you might have understood this. That is, I am taking that character. Caret will give you that character at the index 0. 68, are you here or not? Please confirm once. $68, are you here or not? Of course. Did you understand these 2 statements, guys? Yes or no? Yes? Very good. So I am taking the query here, I am taking the character here. If the query is equal to I, then what you have to do? You have to add that element to the list. Yes or no? Add that character to the list. Add of ch. Okay? Else, if the query is not I, then what it would be? F. Yes also. Yes or no? So if it is F, you'll come to this section, else section. Okay, if C list contains that character, if it is contains only, you have to check, you have to find the frequency. ఆ క్యారెక్టర్ అందులో ఉంటేనే కదా మీరు ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయగలుగుతారు. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కంటెంట్స్ ఆఫ్ సిహెచ్, దెన్ వాట్ యూ నీడ్ టు ప్రింట్? కలెక్షన్స్ డాట్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ ఆఫ్ లిస్ట్ కామా క్యారెక్టర్. collections dot frequency of list comma character. Otherwise, what you need to print? Not present, because the character itself is not present. Understood? No? Easy, no? Once I am showing this code, it would be easy, very easy, no? Yes or no? Yes, you just tell me. Understood right now? 68? So shall I continue? Shall I start the task?